When I was in high school, I studied quite a lot of Latin and Greek, and we always learned from that there was these great wars between the Roman Empire and the Greeks with people in the East, and we never learned anything about the people in the East. And they were always a kind of an unnamed enemy that seemed to be somewhat unimportant. And maybe when I was around 15 or 16, I kind of realized that something's missing, because the Romans never quite beat these people in the East, and the Greeks never really did either, so there must be more to it. And so I got interested in trying to figure out what this Eastern civilization was, and I thought the best way to do it was by learning the language. And so when I left high school, I opted to learn Arabic, and that went on from there to a real fascination for what that culture is. My current work focuses on the desert as an object that was filled with stories and ideas by Muslims. The origins of Islam come from the Arabian desert. Muhammad started preaching the Quran in the middle of the Arabian desert, but the civilization of Islam developed in cities in Syria, Iraq, and Iran. And all that we know about Islam's origins come from the books written in these urban settings. And so for them, they didn't live in the desert, they were city people, but they knew that their religion and their civilization kind of had its origins in the desert. Yet it was a faraway place, they didn't really know it that well, and so they had to fill it with stories. And so the desert is this very interesting kind of canvas, because from an outsider it looks empty, and you can fill it with anything that you want. But a lot of things do live in the desert, and a lot of ideas were put into the desert as well. And so there's a great amount of mythology and storytelling and narratives that were put together for urban Muslims to explain why and how their religion came from this inhospitable place. And they were fascinated by it, and I'm quite fascinated to see what they thought the origins were.